Hey Clashers, it's Ashlane, today playing some more Clash Royale. What I want to do with you guys today is go ahead and take a look at some of the decks the top players are using, and then go ahead and try to copy the decks of the winners, and basically try to get familiar. We'll play a few matches, we'll have some fun, we'll hopefully get some wins under our belt. So we're going to be watching Freddie from Wu-Tang. I didn't think one of the 9 members of the Wu-Tang Clan's name was Freddie, but apparently I have been incorrect in that assumption. So let's go ahead and look at his deck. It's kind of weird. He has the Inferno Tower, he has the X-Bow, he has the Tesla, he has Fireball and Rocket, Barbarian, and Spear Hut. So that's an interesting deck, right? It's like all offense and buildings. That's all it is. So I should say defense and buildings. So let's see how he plays it, right? It looks like he's building up a decent little army here, if you will, a barracks. He has the Barbarians guarded by an Inferno, guarded by a Tesla, guarded by a Skeleton, a Tombstone. Okay, let's see what he's going to do here. I think he wins this match. So let's go ahead and see how he beats this Golem deck here from the blue team. So the Golem is on the board right now, and he has that. Oh, he just came in with the X-Bow. So it looks like early on here, this might be his general strategy. You build a huge fortress up on one side of the map, and then you sneak in an X-Bow on the other side of the map when the opponent is low on elixir. So that looks to be maybe what he's doing here. And at the same time, if you can have a successful defense on the other tower, then you'll have an elixir advantage after the X-Bow drop. Now, a lot of people, when they're using these X-Bows, what they do is they place that skeleton trap right after the X-Bow. So that would be the game plan for a good X-Bow, the X-Bow and Tombstone. X-Bow and Tombstone combo is very, very strong. Now look at this. Again, the Inferno Tower and the Tesla in the middle of the map. Very interesting. It's a really strong defense. I don't know how the blue player here is going to get to that tower. Even with the Golem, with all these defenses to distract it, it seems like it works pretty well, this combination here. So now another X-Bow. This X-Bow has a really cool placement there by Freddie. It's going to be able to hit the towers, and also it's going to have the Skeleton on one side, the Tombstone on one side, the Inferno on the other side, just to distract defenses away from the X-Bow being the main offensive weapon there. So the Golem goes after the Inferno Tower, but it's going to die at the hands of the 2 Teslas and the tower. Now there's a minion horde coming at him, but the minion horde, even that minion horde doesn't do a heck of a lot. Well, it did a decent amount of damage, and the archers along with it. So it's going to be the Rocket. Okay, so how is this going to end? Oh, the Fireball. Okay, so he actually used the Rocket followed by the Fireball. It looks like for the win here, blue has that Fireball but didn't use it, didn't have enough hit points on it anyway. Okay, so let's go ahead and see if we can replicate the Wu-Tang deck. That's what we're gonna call it. We'll call it, do you think, okay, so as I try to find all these cards, it doesn't sound by my nerdy voice that I would know all the Wu-Tang Clan members, but hey, I was a 80s, 90s child, so let's go ahead and buy some gems, because we're going to need to upgrade for gold. So I'll be right back. And we are back, and we have our gold. Now we can upgrade our Goblin Hut, and I'll try to think of the other cards while at the same time naming all 9 original Wu-Tang Clan members. RZA, Jizza, ODB, Method Man, U-God, Grandmaster Killa, Raekwon. Was he an original member? Ghostface Killa, Grandmaster Killa. That's 2 killers. I got the U-God. I got RZA, Jizz. I got ODB, Method Man. Was ODB an original Wu-Tang Clan? See, Inspector Deck. So that would be my guess. I might have named 10 there, so just choose your favorite first original 9. Now I got to get back to these cards here. So I'm still missing the Tesla. Where the heck is it? Where's my Tesla? You guys have probably seen it 100 times. There it is. Okay. So we're going to add the Tesla, and then we're going to try this deck out for size. Right now, I'm kind of hovering at around 2,500 cups, so we'll have to go ahead and see If I can break that barrier, get closer to 2,600. Okay. He says, wow, 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 wow. Okay, we'll give him a cry. And then we'll go ahead and drop our barbarian hut. See, I gotta get a feel for a deck. You can't just pick up a deck and just immediately know how to use it, what the best opener is. So we're gonna try to just kind of build that same thing that Wu-Tang built there, which is a decent defense on one side of the map, and then eventually we'll drop this Expo on the right side of the map. So he coming at me with the Golem here. I dropped the Inferno Tower up top. I think that will be all right. You know, even with the Golem, it's not really that, it shouldn't be that difficult when you have the Inferno Tower and you have all these distracting units. You have the Inferno Tower, you have the Tesla, and we have the Expo, if worst case, and the Tombstone, excuse me, to if worst case scenario. So at this point, I'm going to drop the Tesla, kind of just combating the Wizard and the rest of the troops on the left-hand side. And at this point, I honestly lost track of how much elixir he has. So let's go ahead and try the Expo, see if he has an answer for it. We'll place it over here, and then we don't have the Tombstone to place right after the Expo, but the Expo has locked on to the tower. That's what we want here. I'm going to fireball this minion horde. He has a hog as well, but still, I'm going to do a decent amount of damage to that right tower, so that's good. Very good there, and the hog dies. So it looks like both of his towers are pretty low, so we have a good lead here. Let's not blow it. So let's drop the Barbarian Hut. No, let's do Inferno first. Do Inferno. Oh, that's a good call, because the big rock monster is on his way. So Inferno, Barbarian Hut. The idea here is just to build, start building a cascade of troops and defenses that Golem is going to run into. Anything to keep it away from our tower. So he has barbarians, a wizard, and the Golem coming at me right now with the minion horde. I have a fireball. I'm going to use it right here. All right. I guess it didn't do too bad. But that was a pretty good offensive by him. I guess dropping the Inferno wasn't that bad over there. I was like, I probably should have dropped it somewhere else. But we're going to drop the Expo, try this out again. And now we'll do the Tesla on the right, because he has another Golem coming up here. But I didn't get that Tombstone down in time to distract that hog. So that was kind of a bust with that Expo. Honestly, you guys know how much I hate Expos on offense, so I haven't been using them just on principle. But now I'm kind of finally starting to break down and use them here and there. So I got that hut, obviously, with a rocket. So at this point, we're going to go ahead and win. We one crown victory. So we did have the level advantage, so certainly nothing to brag about, but good luck. Let's see. Let's go again. We won't switch it up. Let's use the same deck there and see how we do. So just going to go ahead and search for an opponent. And yeah, I'm thinking maybe we can switch up the deck if we lose. That because obviously it can't be my fault. It must have been the deck's fault if we lose. Joking. It would definitely be my fault. Okay, so Peter from Finland. Let's go ahead, Peter. I wonder if I met you at all in my travels. We'll do the Inferno Tower this time. We don't really have too many choices. So Inferno Tower, we have the Tesla Fireball, Skeleton, and Rocket. Let's do should I do a Tesla? I don't know. Maybe a Rocket would have been the right play there, but we'll do Tesla. We got a nice defense going on the right-hand side. And at this point, he shouldn't really be dropping troops on the right because the left is pretty open with that Tesla there. But he does. I'm going to use this combo here. Now I have this ready. So it's the Expo guarded by that Tombstone. Is really, really good protection for the Expo. So he's still going to get to my Expo a little bit, but you can see here that I'm going to get a decent amount of damage off this tower. So the whole exchange, all in all, wasn't a total bust. So I have the Inferno Tower that I'm going to build here. He's going to get a few hits off my tower. Don't really like that. Don't like giving up cheap hits like that because those little tiny, 100 here, 200 there, 200 there, really tends to add up, and sometimes that can be what kills you more than the big rushes. So we're going to go ahead and try to build like a fortress over here on the left-hand side of the map. Started out with these barbarians, and then we'll build maybe a Tesla, or are we ready to go ahead with the Expo? What do you guys think? We could also do the Goblin hut. Oh, boy. Decisions. Whoa, that's tough to say. Decisions. Okay. Because then we got the Goblin hut, we got the Barbarian hut. This might be a draw, guys. I don't think we have pretty good counters here. That's the thing about this deck is it's not, you can't really overpower, at least I guess easy for me to say after one battle, but it doesn't seem like you can overpower your opponent. I don't think you're going to get too many crown towers here, 3 stars, but certainly you can get 1 star with it with the Expo, maybe even 2. But the 3, like I said, would be pretty difficult because we don't have any ground troops, so except for our huts, obviously. So anyway, let's Expo over here on the left, and we don't have the tombstone, so we'll guard it with a Tesla, see if we can't do some damage here. This might be able to get through here. Well, he has the Barbarians up. I like the Fireball in the deck because Fireball is actually a pretty good counter to the Barbarians, so I'm a fan of the Fireball in decks just because Barbarians are so prevalent in the game right now, so that's how I feel about that. Let's go ahead and see. It just feels like we're kind of just, taking little jabs at each other, but no one has that big, let's get me with a Fireball. This is his, the cumulative damage that he's done to my left tower is starting to add up a little bit, but we're in overtime. I have it set up now, this combo, the Expo and the Tombstone, but he freezes it. I Fireball his troops, but you can see that that Tombstone just really does very well protecting that Expo. Now the Expo got taken out again, so this is definitely going to be a draw. I'm going to go ahead and rocket that tower, but I'm going to need that rocket again, and there's only 25 seconds left. I'm kind of just going to throw things on the map. I'd have to get the Fireball and rocket, and there's just not enough time left. So at this point, I'm just going to take the draw, I guess. I'll be kind of aggressive here with this Expo, but ultimately I just don't have the time. Fireball, and then we need the rocket, but it's just not going to come up in 5 seconds. Certainly it will take longer than that to fire as well. So this is going to be a draw. Let's go ahead and try to do it up again. So I don't know about this deck so far. Have you guys played a deck similar to this before? Like I said, I'm not used to it. I like having, in this game, I like having like a bunch of troops that you can really be strategically overwhelm the opponent. To me, there's nothing cooler than taking down a tower, a crown tower, when you have a huge swarm of troops. That's like my absolute favorite victory, more so than last second, fireballs or something like that. I love the overwhelming swarm of troops. So this guy, let's go ahead and see what kind of deck he has. I'm kind of intimidated for no reason, so I don't know what's up with that. So we'll start off with the Goblin Hunt, and he has, see, I wish I had a lightning over there. Or maybe I should have waited for the rocket on that. I don't know. Probably would have been a smarter play. I should have used the rocket instead of that Fireball. So now he's going to kind of swarm my Inferno, trying to build anything to slow these troops down a bit, because he has those Barbarians that are steadily going to just come down that right-hand lane. So going to build a Tesla, just keep trying to distract these troops, but this might be enough with that Knight in there to overwhelm my right tower with cheap troops. Oh boy, he's going to do a lot of damage here. So this is a major mess up from the get-go on my point here, on my part. I should have used the rocket. So common mistake is rushing things in this game. Like, patience always wins. And we did a bad job at showing patience here. That Expo is going to do he opts for the Tombstone to try to overwhelm my King's Tower here. But I'm going to get his left tower. I don't think he's going to be able to get my King Tower here with just those 2 units. I kind of put the, I don't know. I'm not going to use a rocket this time. Let's try to build an Inferno and try to slow things down over here. It's sneaky. At this point in the game, when you're down, well, I'm not really down, I guess. Forget it. But I was going to say, when you're down like halfway through the match, you can have a tendency to just dig yourself a deeper hole. You can always regroup, especially before the last minute comes on, because the last minute, obviously, you guys know, is double elixir, and that's huge. So you just got to be smart and be patient. 2 Barbarian huts. Uh-oh. Expo, Fireball, maybe. Yeah, I feel like I don't know why I'm the underdog here, but this is an awful decision, an awful match, and I can't even blame it on the deck. I just screwed up there. So that was a womp womp. Re-quiz. Good game, man. Good game. All right. Let's go ahead and switch things up maybe, but I don't know. Should I switch things? It was really my fault, not the deck's fault. So maybe I won't switch things up. You have a tendency of losing a few or we had a draw and a loss, and you kind of feel like the deck might be bad, or you might need to make some changes. But as with anything in life, you really need a big sample size before you really rule things out. Good luck. Gives me the cry face. Let's go ahead. Crazy Canadians. Okay. Let's go ahead and start this off with the Barbarian Hut. And then we'll go ahead and Inferno Tower. So I had luck with this combo in the first match. And we do have the Tombstone up. So that's going to distract that Hog and even the Barbarians for a second. So I think we'll be able to go ahead, and even with the freeze spell there, I think there won't be a ton of damage to my tower. So that's good. So it was a pretty good offensive move on his play, but I still feel confident that he's pretty low on elixir at this point. He probably had, 4 or 5. He just dropped that Goblin Hut. So look at this. The synergy between that Expo and when you have the already placed Barbarian Hut is really good. It actually protects your Barbarians, lay cover, a steady stream of cover for that Expo. And if you can get a Tombstone or a Tesla here protecting it further, you're really in good shape. So I'm still hammering away at that tower there, and it was really that combo. So I'm going to build the Barbarian Hut on the right-hand lane this time, see if we can't go ahead and get an offensive, get the same thing basically repeated on the right lane is going to be the goal. So I have the Barbarian Hut, I have the Goblin Hut. Now I can go ahead and think about getting that Expo card on my cards in my current hand and just replicating the same exact thing. So I'll continue to protect this area with the Inferno. He builds that same Goblin Hut. It's kind of like a repeat of exactly what happened last on the other lane. So I think I'm going to go ahead and build the Expo and then back it up with the Tombstone immediately. So there it is. So we have the combo on the board. It's going to be really tough for him to fight this. It's going to be really tough, especially, see, the Barbarians come in just in time and take out that Hog. So look at this. I'm going to really do some work here on his Crown Tower. My Expo has plenty of, and look at this. I'm just going to keep building units. Oh, no. He's mad. Oh, geez. This feels so cool on my end, but it feels so cheap when you're on his end. So let's just build Inferno and Goblin Hut and the Tombstone here and try to do it again and see if we can do it again. Oh, man. Good game. It felt like a cheesy win on my part, right? But, hey, it was fun anyway. It was fun and cheesy. Oh, but that was fun. That was fun doing the trying to replicate that deck and just having some fun with new combinations and testing out decks. So, Rilo says Ash's deck is good. Huh. How does he even know? Look, he's using my deck. Oh, man. He must have been spying on me in the last, 18 minutes this has been. Interesting. But anyway, guys, thanks so much for watching. As always, tune in daily at 9 a.m. for Clash Royale content. And take care, guys.